So you want to make a commercial or a video, but you don't know how? Pay attention because I'm awesome. Step 1, coming up with the idea. Now, some people might say that this is the most important step because if you don't have an idea, you can't do anything else. What I do when I can't think of an idea, I just think of something I would really, really want to exist, but doesn't. For example, I have always wanted a clone of myself. How cool would that be? I'd never have to clean my room anymore, or cook, or do dishes, or laundry, or school. School's actually pretty cool. But anyway, I wouldn't have to do anything! Plus, I'd always have someone to play video games with and stuff. So, I made something to make that happen. Now I'm gonna make a commercial about it. Ideas are everywhere. Don't you agree? She agrees. Step 2, scripting. So you have your idea, now you gotta write it down. Write down your idea and any ideas you have for it, and then start your script. Now, your script doesn't have to be professional like mine, but this is what I do. Character's name in bold, and then underneath is what they say, and in parentheses, actions.
Lines like this are called slug lines. They're placed at the beginning of each scene. They tell you if the scene takes place indoors or outdoors, where the scene takes place, and what time it takes place. INT is short for interior. It means indoors. EXT is short for exterior shot, and it means outdoors.
Now, usually the writers don't put in directions, such as the camera moves left, or the camera moves right. But sometimes I do that just in case I want a certain shot. Speaking of shots, that'll bring us to step number 3, which is, of course, storyboarding. Personally, this is my favorite. There are actually a lot of rules to storyboarding, but I'll just give you the basics. Storyboarding is where you draw out what you wrote in the script.
By the way, if you think you can't draw, don't worry about it. Stick figures are perfectly fine for storyboards. All that matters here is getting your idea across.
So who uses the storyboard? Well, to be honest, just about everyone. Camera operators, editors, directors, even sometimes actors and actresses. It's really important to know how you're going to shoot something and where everyone will be standing, who will be in your shot, what kind of shot. For example, right now, you're looking at a medium shot. Now you're looking at a close-up shot. Want to know what's next? Extreme close-up. There are a lot of different shots, but it doesn't matter what they're named right now. All that matters is you get creative and have fun. Now, for a typical storyboard, there will be a lot of different labels. For example, scene number, panel number, background, dialogue, slug, and transition. The scene and the panel numbers are pretty self-explanatory. Scene number, what scene it is. Panel number, what panel number in the scene it is. For example, this first panel here is scene 1, panel 1. But if I started scene 2 down here, it'd be scene 2, panel 1, not scene 2, panel 9.
The background label is usually only used in animation. It tells us which pre-drawn background the scene should be in. Where it says dialogue, you should write the first words to be spoken during the shot. Here's my example. As you can see, you really don't have to write the entire line out, although it might help. Slug. This is where you should write the slug line if it was different from the panel before it. If it's the same, however, you don't have to write anything.
Finally, transition. If you want a certain type of transition, such as a crossfade, or perhaps fire, or maybe even broken glass, then you should write something there. Transitions should not be used very often, or otherwise it'll take your viewer out of the experience. But they are kind of fun. Whoa! I'm turning into a ghost! I'm disappearing! Oh no!
Step number 4. Filming.
I'm back. So after you've come up with the idea, scripted it, and storyboarded it, the best part comes. Now you get to film your commercial. When you're filming, you don't have to record it in order. For example, I recorded this after I recorded the ending of the video, which you will see later. When I make videos, I write out a list of what I'm going to film and where. That way, I can film everything in the same location at the same time when I need to. It saves a lot of time and stress. You should try it. When you're shooting, you don't even need a tripod. To be honest, I don't have a tripod, so I use whatever I have. Desks, TV trays, chairs, little brothers, myself. They all work.
Just try to make sure your shots aren't too shaky. Otherwise, it might make your viewers sick. Step 5, the final step. Editing your video. While I can't tell you exactly how to use your specific editing software, I can give you some general tips. Gather any sound effects or music you need before you start to edit, but make sure you have permission to use them or that you create them yourself. That way you're not infringing any copyrights. Editing can be a very time-consuming process, especially if your actors are as silly as mine are. Try not to get too frustrated. At the end, it'll be totally worth the time you spend. Your project could start out really simple like this, and end up really complicated like mine did. Try not to overwhelm yourself with too many effects or tricks. And don't forget to use your script and your storyboard to help yourself when you're editing. It'll save you a lot of trouble. Sometimes lines don't come out clearly during filming, so you have to have your actors redo them like I'm doing here. Once you're done editing your video, all that's left is to show it off. So, here's mine. Timmy, stop playing that game and clean your room already. We're having company over today.
But Mom, I'm about to finish the game. Can I play for another hour?
Do it right now, young man, or no video games for a week.
I know, I can use my Cloney's capsule. Wow, this looks great! Who wants pie?
Cloney's capsules for you and me. Buy Cloney's capsules today.